सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I thank all the organizers and devotees for organizing this wonderful program. Today, I am starting new series of discourses on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. First time, when I started the mission of teaching, when I started sharing the spiritual knowledge, I was asked by our devotees, Swamiji, please give us 2-3 books which will be essence of all the spiritual knowledge, essence of all the spiritual traditions, essence of all the spiritual truths. I chose 3 books. One, Shiva Sutras. Another one, Bhagavad Gita. Third, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. I finished talking on both the books, Shiva Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. Now, today I am starting the series of discourses on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Before entering into the Yoga Sutras, introduction, few words to introduce the great author Patanjali and this book. Every religion has 2 parts. One, the spiritual core, essence. The other, belief system. The day-to-day practices. Any religion will have these 2 parts. One is the spiritual essence, the core part. The another one is day-to-day beliefs. All the traditions, all the spiritual groups, all the religions will have these 2. In the belief system, they may differ. Whether you need to eat with right hand or left hand, or you need to stand and pray or sit and pray, or how many hours you need to sleep, how many wives you can marry. These day-to-day practices, beliefs. In the beliefs, they may differ. Each religion will have their own opinion. If you ask Buddha, how many times I can marry? He will say, never think of that. Even if you are married, escape. If you ask Shankara, he will say, don't marry. If you ask Krishna, marry how many times you want. Only thing, don't bother to count. So each one will have their own opinion. Each one will have their own ideas, the day-to-day belief system or the day-to-day things. But in the spiritual core, the essence, everybody accepts the basic truths. There are some truths which is accepted, experienced, expressed by everybody. That is what we call spiritual essence. The belief system is different, spiritual essence is different. Whatever masters believed led them to that spiritual experience has become belief system. Please understand. Whatever the masters who had the spiritual experience, whatever they believed has led them to that experience has become belief system. If somebody believed being unmarried led them to enlightenment, spiritual experience, being unmarried becomes a belief system to achieve the truth. If somebody believes fasting led them to spiritual experience, fasting becomes a belief system. If somebody believes worshipping some deity led them to that spiritual experience, worshipping that deity becomes a belief system. Whatever masters believe has led them to that high experience has become belief system. Always, from time immemorial, whatever masters have believed has led them to the higher experience has become religion, has become belief system. Here, first time a master has happened, master is expressing a pure spiritual science without any belief system. Please understand. A pure spiritual science without any belief system. That is why I say, is the greatest master. Patanjali is the greatest master ever happened on the planet Earth. I can say, if I have to define the spiritual master, spiritual master is a person whose teachings are remembered every day and practiced by people. If this is the definition of the spiritual master, Patanjali is the greatest master in the planet Earth. Because directly or indirectly, almost all the religions are influenced by this great master. Directly or indirectly, almost all the religions are followers of this great master. Anywhere spiritual truth is expressed as a science, directly, indirectly, Patanjali's role is there in that place. He is an ultimate master, I can say, a rare master who has made a spiritual tradition without any belief. No need for any belief, no need for any assumptions, no need for any theories, no need for any philosophies, straight, simple truth. Experience, straight, simple truths which can be directly experienced. I can say all religions have only two parts. One, belief, other, Patanjali's part, that's all. All religions has only two parts. One is belief, day-to-day system, the science, Patanjali's part. Nobody is able to grasp Patanjali, either before or after. Still, he holds his position. He is the ultimate, greatest spiritual scientist happened on the planet Earth. He is very clear. He is very clear. He is not mincing words. He is not playing with words. He is not having fine prints. If you see in the billboards, big billboards, free, below there will be one fine print, conditions apply. He doesn't have any fine prints. He is a straight master. Straight away he talks about the truth and gives the experience. He is the first master, I can say last master, who made spirituality into a science. Please understand. Entering into the other consciousness, entering into the other zone, entering into a different consciousness, different space, was always an accident or a miracle. Till Patanjali, it was an accident or a miracle. Getting enlightened was an accident or miracle. Both has no logic. First time, Patanjali made that as a science. You don't need to wait for that accident or miracle to happen. You can create it. You can consciously work for it and achieve it. Patanjali is the first master who explored, experimented, experienced and expressed the whole thing in clear terms. In very clear terms. All kinds of miracles, all kinds of accidents happens in the planet Earth with a clear cause and effect system. Please understand. He has not only explored the science of enlightenment, he has explored all the planes in which metaphysical experiences happens. Different kinds of experiences happens. He has explored everything, experimented, experienced and expressed. I want to give you one simple example. How many of you experience this one simple thing? Let me describe. You will go to a new place, new country or new friend's house. The moment you enter the house, suddenly you will have the feeling you have been in the same spot with the same person in the same space already at least once, and you know the whole place. Suddenly you feel, I know where master bedroom is, where puja room is, where the living room is. You know the whole map of that place, and you feel, I have been in this place already with the same person, same situation. Sometimes, suddenly when you are dancing in the party or with some friends, suddenly you feel somebody is going to come or something is going to happen in next 5 minutes. It will happen exactly. That same person will be there or that same incident will happen. How many of you have felt this kind of any experience at least once in your lifetime? Raise your hand. Understand? If it happens once in a while for one person, you can call it as coincidence. If it happens in so many persons' lives, so many times, how can this be coincidence? We have never explored. Have you ever thought how this is happening? Why am I feeling like this? What is the science behind this? No. We never thought about it. Even if you have thought, we don't have an answer. Patanjali has an answer. For every question related to this metaphysical plane, and the things happen in your psychological space, in your inner space, Patanjali has an answer. Great scientists not only explored the science of enlightenment, explored all different human experiences, all different spiritual experiences, all kinds of miraculous experiences, and all accidents. He has explored everything. Please understand, not only miracles, even about accidents. He has studied, he has mastered and expressed. Miracle and accident are almost one and the same. Both, you don't know the reason. If the result is favorable to you, you call that as miracle. If the result is you don't feel happy with the result. You call that as accident. But both has no reason in your ordinary logic. It has reason in your deeper layers. In the deeper space, it has logic. The incident which happens in your conscious plane, but the reason is unknown to your conscious plane, is what we call as miracle or accident. Patanjali has explored the whole science and he has clearly expressed how to consciously create miracles and how to consciously avoid accidents. He is the ultimate master who is teaching the science of life, science of living, science of uniting. Yoga means uniting. Uniting, union. Please understand. Uniting the individual soul with the cosmos, uniting the individual identity with the whole nature. Patanjali knows the whole science. He has experimented the whole science. He has experienced the whole science. He beautifully describes and presents the whole thing as a science in this one book. Sutra means with a minimum word, the ultimate truth should be expressed. Here, Patanjali, the great master, expresses in a very simple minimum words the ultimate science of uniting yourself with the whole cosmos and the science of all extraordinary powers, how to gain those extraordinary powers, and the science of how to avoid accidents. All possible accidents in your life. Disease is an accident. Old age is an accident. There are so many things which you don't want, which happens in your life. He has a clear science how to avoid all those accidents. He's the greatest master happened in the planet Earth to show the way of life to all of us. Few more understandings about Patanjali, about his greatness, about his work before entering into this great book. I'm going to talk on this great book this whole year. This whole year I'm dedicating to this great book. So I need at least 1 hour to introduce him to you all. To introduce him to you all. Only with a proper introduction, people are going to put their energy and attention to listen to this great master's teachings. He is not talking in metaphysical terms. He doesn't talk in poetic language. See, poetry is beautiful when you want to express your emotion, but the poetry is not going to be a manual for your life. It cannot be a manual for your life. It cannot be the system through which you are going to live. That is why all poets will be always impractical. They live in poverty because they are very impractical. Very rarely the practicality and emotion meets each other. There are 3 kinds of personalities. One who can intellectually connect but will take a lot of time to emotionally feel connected. With anything, he can intellectually understand. He can intellectually relate, but he can't emotionally have the feeling. The feeling connection doesn't happen in him. Other kinds of second variety, they can connect emotionally immediately. They will straight away have that feeling connection. One sight, love at the sight. They can have that strong feeling connection. but very difficult to intellectually analyze and understand. Intellectually they will be a little dull. The more energy will be through the heart. This is the second kind of people. The third, very balanced. The intellect and emotion, both will be parallel lines in them. They will be very straight. They can connect intellectually and experience emotionally. They are called being level people. Here, Patanjali is the solution for all these three kinds of people. He can very clearly connect with intellectual people. He can very clearly give experience to the emotional people, and he can straightaway raise the people who are in the being level. He is the complete solution. Patanjali is the complete solution for the whole humanity. He knows the language of logic. He knows the language of experience. He knows the language of being, consciousness. He can play all the three games beautifully, and he has played in this book. Patanjali is a great scientist. Scientist is a person who creates a formula to reproduce his experiences. The outer world scientist creates a formula to reproduce the understandings which happened in him in the outer world. The inner world scientist creates a formula to reproduce the same experience in all of us which happened in him in the inner world, which happened to him in the inner world. Patanjali is a great spiritual scientist. If you have mastered Patanjali, you can't be cheated. Please understand. The spiritual field, the biggest problem is you can easily be cheated by small powers, by small miracles, by small incidents. If you read Patanjali, if you have mastered Patanjali, if you have studied Patanjali, nobody can cheat you. Nobody can cheat you. You will never be diverted from your spiritual journey, because he talks about all possible diversions. He is literally a spiritual navigator. He is literally a spiritual navigator. He talks about all the possible dangers, all the possible diversions, all the possible miraculous powers. An example about the miracle. Suddenly, due to some natural calamity, everybody dies. Only 2-3 persons are left, and one radio is left. Some one person got that radio and he knows how to handle it. If he starts operating that radio and the radio starts operating, other few people who are there will be surprised. They think he has some miraculous powers. He has a small box which talks, which sings, which does different things. It will be a miracle for the people who don't know the science. Same way, in the spiritual field also, if you see some master materializing some objects, if you see some master materializing objects or performing some extraordinary miraculous things, please understand, you don't know the science, that's all. Otherwise, that is also a science, a clear science, just like how cell phone works, how radio works, just like that. These extraordinary activities like materializing, teleporting, or healing, everything is a simple science. Almost all possible miracles, Patanjali explores, experiments, and clearly expresses as a formula. He has answer for everything. I can say he is a master who creates masters. How you recognize masters? Based on the miracles they perform, based on the extraordinary things they perform, Based on that only you recognize masters, or you understand about masters. You recognize them, you go near them, you appreciate them, you accept them. Here is a master who made a clear science. All the miraculous things are reduced to a simple scientific statements. Anybody can take these statements, work on it, and experiment that powers, experience it and express it. A clear master who creates masters, I can say. There are some books which creates traditions. There are some books which creates religions. Bhagavad Gita is a book which can create different religions. It is not a book for one religion. Anybody who reads and interprets can create a new religion. It can be the source of many religions. So each book, each interpretation on Bhagavad Gita can become its own religion. So Bhagavad Gita can create many religions. There are some books which can create many traditions. There are some books which can be the source for many books to be written. Here is one book which can create any number of masters. The book which creates masters, there is a manual to create masters. I can say this is a manual of how to make manual for religions. Not even how to make religions. This is a manual for how to make manual for creating religions. This is a source book. One sutra from this book can create a master who can create religions. This is the essence of all the spiritual truths expressed. Extraordinary energy, extraordinary intelligence, extraordinary understanding, everything expressing in one book is what I call Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Let me introduce this great master. I am very happy to introduce him because I am from the same province, same state from where the Patanjali is born. Patanjali was born, Patanjali lived. I am from the same area. I am proud to say I am born and brought up in a community which still follows, remembers, reveres, respects Patanjali. His teachings are still in the air. His words are still remembered. He is still respected. He is still worshipped. Thousands of years, we don't know how many thousands of years. We don't know how many thousands of years. Thousands of years before he was born, he lived as an extraordinary spiritual scientist, explored, did lot of research, analyzed, arranged all the great truths based on his own conscious experience and offered it to the world. People ask me sometimes, how do you know this book is written by Patanjali only? Please understand, anybody who can express such a sharp, such an amazing spiritual truths, he is already in Patanjali consciousness. He is already a great master. We don't bother about the name and form and date of birth and all those things. That is the greatness of these great masters. They don't leave their biography. They don't leave even simple hints about their biography. They are dissolved in their work. They say, if these great truths are remembered, that's enough. There is no need to remember the person who happened in the form as 6 feet. They have dissolved themselves into the great truths. They are completely, they disappear into the great truths. That's the greatness of these great masters. He was born in a place called Chidambaram in Tamil Nadu, southern part of India, and lived there, had his enlightenment experience of Shiva consciousness in Chidambaram, and attained Mahasamadhi, means left the body in Rameshwaram. He lived the southern part of India. Still, we have enough of records, enough of stories, enough of things to respect his memory, enjoying his memory, and devoted to his memory. I'll narrate the beautiful story, how he expressed these Yoga Sutras, how he expressed this great book. It's a very powerful story. Please understand. Understand this story. It's a very inspiring story. After his enlightenment, Patanjali created a group of disciples to whom he was teaching all the great truths. How to have a spiritual experience, how to train your body, how to train your mind, how to play with the nature, how to go beyond the nature. This is the one book. See, there are some books which can teach you just to have spiritual experience, enlightenment. There are some books which can teach you to have extraordinary powers, playing with the nature. But this is the one book which teaches you how to have spiritual experience, enlightenment, and playing with the nature. Enlightenment experience means realizing whatever you are seeing is a dream and resting in superconsciousness. This enlightenment experience. Having extraordinary powers means conquering the nature, not realizing this is a dream, but trying to overpower, trying to conquer whatever you see in front of you. These are two opposite things. Two opposite things. If you try to conquer this, what you are seeing, enlightenment will be delayed. If you are working on enlightenment, you may not directly achieve the powers to conquer the outer world. But here is a great master who teaches you this whole thing is a dream, at the same time who gives you the key to alter the dream as you want. He not only teaches you how to wake up from the dream, he gives you the key even to alter the dreams. That is where his Vibhudipata comes to place. Vibhudipata means teaching you the science of miracles. He teaches you how to materialize things. He teaches you how to walk on water. He teaches you how to convert things into energy and convert energy into matter. It's a manual to alter anything which you see in front of you and to realize whatever you see is a dream. He teaches you to make all your dreams into reality and to realize whatever you experience as reality is one more dream. Always the spiritual books will take only one subject. Either they will teach you whatever you are seeing in front of you as a reality is a dream. They are spiritual literature. They will teach you how to become enlightened, how to come out of this dream. Or they will teach you how to make your dreams into reality. There are literatures which will teach you how to express energy to make your dream into reality. There are some literatures which will teach you how to create intelligence, which will teach you to realize this reality itself is one more dream. Some books will give you Shakti, energy. Some books will give you Buddhi, intelligence. Here is a master who can give you both at the same time. He is giving you the enlightenment science and he is giving you the keys to change even the dreams, to change even your life situations, to change the matter with which you are living, to master the matter, is the ultimate master. After he became enlightened, he wants to deliver all he knows to the world. He is filled, pregnant with that energy. He just wants to deliver. He just wants to share. He wants to overflow. He wants to offer. But the energy is extraordinary, too much. The energy is extraordinary, too much. You know, many times you would have felt some experiences can never be shared through words. Strong experiences can never be shared through words. Even ordinary human beings, we feel strong experiences cannot be shared through words. Then what about the great master like Patanjali? Strong experiences can never be shared by words. Impossible. So Patanjali also feels that extraordinary experience he is not able to share in the form of words. So he contemplates how to share, but it has to be shared. It should be said. It should be expressed. It has to be shared to the world. How to share? He decides he will start talking through his 1,000 heads. Patanjali is said to be the incarnation of Adisesha, the great snake which has 1,000 heads, which has 1,000 hoods. Please understand, it's not mythological, it has a meaning. The story has a meaning. You may think, how can somebody have 1,000 heads? Why? When you can have so many forms, so many faces, you show one face to your father, one face to your mother, one face to your son, one face to your wife. When you can have so many faces, why not Patanjali have 1,000 faces? He can. There's a beautiful story describing Patanjali's incarnation. When Shiva was dancing in Kailash, and suddenly his ankle broke. I don't know what is the connection between this anklet and energy. It never stays in the leg. It broke. And because of that, Shiva has to stop the dance for a moment. Patanjali was witnessing the dance. He felt the dance should not be stopped. It was going in such a beautiful rhythm. So he became anklet at the feet of Shiva. And Shiva continued his dance. After the dance, Patanjali says, "Oh Master, I was at your feet as an anklet, so I couldn't enjoy your dance. Please bless me to have the darshan of your dance once more, to see your dance once more. I want to see your dance." And Shiva says, "Don't worry, meditate on me, I'll give you darshan, and you will see my dance. You will see my Ananda Tandava, the blissful dance." So Patanjali comes down, meditates in Chidambaram, and experiences Shiva consciousness. Means he comes down as an incarnation, and after his Shiva consciousness experience, he expresses that science. So he takes his 1,000 heads, his 1,000 hoods. Through that, he starts talking. He trains 1,000 disciples. He tells all of them, "Please understand, I'll express whatever I want to express once for all. Once for all, I'll express all the great truths. Whatever can be said, I'll say it. I'll express it. All possible great truths. whatever can be said in all 11 dimensions. I want you to understand. Patanjali says there are 11 dimensions, not just length, breadth, depth and time and space. No. We know only 4 dimensions. Length, breadth, depth, time and space. Patanjali talks of 11 dimensions. One example. He says, length and breadth of this table can be left here and depth can be teleported, can be moved. Then you will see the form of this table, but if you put your hand, there will be nothing. There will be nothing to be sensed. You won't be able to touch the table. Same way, depth of the table can be left here, length and breadth of the table can be moved. Then he says, you will not see the table, but if you put your hand, you will see something touching. Something will be touching your hand. You will have the feeling. He says the length, breadth, depth can be separated. Time and space can be separated. Please understand, I am not telling any stories. I am not telling any stories. When I say, Patanjali says, I mean it is truth. If I have not experienced what Patanjali says, I won't attest for his words. I say, Patanjali is true. Means, I know what I am talking. I know what I am speaking. I am responsible for what I am talking. I am not telling you any mythological stories. I am not talking to you some unknown mysteries. I am talking to you a straight, simple truth about life and consciousness. He says this can be separated. Even I was shocked when I read. But when I started experimenting, I understood the truths behind his words. He says 11 dimensions. In all 11 dimensions, whatever can be expressed, he says, let me express it. Let me express it. He starts expressing all the great truths. He assumes 1,000 heads and says, each disciple will note down what one head says. He says, all of you don't get confused listening to all 1,000 heads. He connects one disciple to one head. That disciple will note down only what that head says. Because the enlightenment cannot be expressed just with his one body. It's like trying to transfer the lightning energy to the houses. Trying to supply the lightning energy to the houses is impossible. So it takes 1,000 heads so that he can step down and properly transmit the whole energy. It takes 1,000 heads, starts talking about all the great truths through each head. One head is talking about Vastu Shastra, one head is talking about astrology, one is talking about deities, one is talking about yoga, one is talking about meditation, one is talking about the different spiritual sciences. Each head is talking about one on spiritual science, one on spiritual truths. Suddenly, the whole group feels the intense energy they are not able to bear. They are not able to bear the energy. Then Patanjali says, all right, let me put a thick screen. He puts a big thick screen. And he says, now I will express all the truths. You only record, but never remove the screen. Because in this intense energy, if you remove the screen, you all may get burnt. So he puts a condition, puts a screen, and starts dictating, expressing all the truths. Understand, the story has many beautiful meaning behind the story. He expresses the truth. Disciples are sitting on the other side. Each disciple is connected to one head. He is noting down, recording whatever that head is saying, whatever is expressed through that head. So intense transmission is happening, the energy expression and the recording intensely happening. Almost the recording is going to be ended, means the teaching is going to be finished. End of the discourse, end of the recording, one disciple had a strong doubt, suddenly had a strong doubt. Master says he is talking through 1,000 heads and he is behind the screen, but I am listening only through one head. So I feel usually what he teaches, that is what I am listening. But this foolish disciple is not remembering. He usually heard from one head, now also he is listening only from one head, but 999 other disciples are listening to other different truths. He did not think from that angle. He thought earlier what he used to talk, now what he is talking, I feel almost it is same. I feel almost it is same. Then how come he is saying, don't remove the screen, I am expressing extraordinary energy, I am talking through 1,000 heads? I think these are all some stories. Maybe he is telling these things to inspire us, so that we will have more respect for the truths he expressed. He had some doubt, some disturbance. This is a big problem. This is a big problem with the disciples. When they are not completely devoted, they can cause big damage. They can cause big damage, not to the master, but to the truths which are delivered. Understand the scene. Patanjali, when he took his 1,000 head and started teaching, the disciples are unable to bear the energy expression. So he puts the big screen and says, each disciple record from one head. Whatever is expressed, don't remove the screen. If you remove the screen, you may get burnt by this intense energy, and starts expressing all the great truths. All the 1,000 disciples are recording. Almost it is about to over, the session is about to end. One disciple gets the doubt. Maybe master is sleeping the other side. He is not expressing through 1,000 heads as he claims, because I am listening as usual. When he talks through one head, what I listen, the same thing only I am hearing now, even now. He is not understanding. Master has made him listen only one head, the other 999 heads are heard and recorded by other 999 disciples. So he wants to verify. He wants to check. Very dangerous. Sometimes very dangerous. Finally, he removes the screen. Once he pulls the screen, the intense energy being radiated, all the 1,000 disciples, they became enlightened and got burnt. Whole thing, all the disciples and whatever was recorded, whole thing got burnt. Patanjali suddenly realizes what happened. The whole thing got burnt. And he comes down. He relaxes. He comes back to his normal energy, normal position, and feels deeply, oh God, what happened? The story says for more than 1,000 years they were recording. 1,000 heads were talking, 1,000 years it was getting recorded. The whole effort, now waste, gone. He feels so sad. He says, oh God. It's like practically you put your whole life and do a research and development. End of the research and development, your laboratory got burnt. All the data you collected got burnt. Disappeared. Suddenly, his face became lit. He became very bright. Because he saw one disciple just entering the area. He became very cool now. He is not radiating that intense energy. He is very normal. He saw one disciple walking. He was jumping in ecstasy. The extraordinary joy. He went and hugged the disciple, asked, "How did you survive? What happened?" The disciple said, "I went to attend my nature calls." I went to attend my nature calls. The story says, whatever that one disciple recorded, that one part is what we now read as Patanjali Yoga Sutra. That one head, whatever was expressed from that one head, whatever that one disciple recorded is Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali was so happy, at least one part, 0.1% was preserved. But there was one thing, one unfortunate thing, when Patanjali was talking about initiation, means initiating a person into that enlightenment science, the main key part, that disciple was missing. The disciple was not there, who was recording. So Patanjali says that main initiation cannot be given through books or through sutra. It has to be given only from master to disciple, master to disciple, master to disciple. So he says, I have given the whole thing except initiation. Let that be given only by master to disciple, master to disciple, master to disciple. That is why even now the importance of master, the importance of direct initiation is insisted in all the yoga tradition. In all yoga traditions, again and again, people are requested to have the direct initiation from the master, because the initiation can never be transmitted through book or any other material. I have tried. I have tried many times. When I initiate, the initiation, the click, that connection happens with the disciples. The same disciples, if they sit and watch the DVD, they are not able to have that click. That experience does not happen. The same DVD, the same disciple, if they sit and watch without my physical presence, the click is not happening. I have experimented many times, because in the modern days, I wanted to replace the necessary of physical guru. Because of this one constraint, we are not able to reach millions and millions who are waiting for this science, who are yearning for this science. So I tried my best to replace the physical presence of guru. Impossible. It is impossible. I tried many times. The ultimate initiation, that click, that connection does not happen without the physical presence of the master. So here is the great book delivered by this great master Patanjali and recorded by one disciple without the initiation part, which has to happen only from the master and disciple. It means you have to listen to these great sutras from an enlightened being. Only then the true meaning is revealed. That click, the feeling connection happens. Because without enlightenment, these sutras can be misinterpreted, misunderstood and misused. The great knowledge, if it is misused, it is dangerous not only to the person, to the whole world. That's the reason Patanjali has left that last key unrecorded. The last thing unrecorded. And he says, let this knowledge be transmitted from a living master to the disciples for ages. And he says, just for that reason, the planet Earth will continue to have living masters. Just to interpret the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, planet Earth will continue to have living masters continuously. He says planet Earth will have living masters continuously. So almost all the spiritual sciences are explored, experimented, experienced and expressed in this one book. Science of healing, science of doing miracles, all extraordinary miracles, whatever you name it, you have in this book. The science of that miracle is in this book. If you read this book, people who show simple miracles, you will laugh at them. You will laugh at them. Once you read this book, you become an insider of spirituality. Nothing can shake you except enlightenment experience. You will not stop at anything except enlightenment experience. You will not be bothered about the simple materializing or small miracles, foretelling, Vaksiddhi. Vaksiddhi means whatever you tell will become reality. You will not be disturbed, you will not be diverted by these small miracles. You may enjoy them, but you know there is something more, there is something beyond, there is something to go beyond. Because Vaksudra, let's pray, let us feel connected to that great master Patanjali. Please close your eyes. Sit with a deep, prayerful mood. Remember the great master Patanjali. Pray to him. Let his great sutras be experienced by all of us. Let the great truths expressed by him be understood inside us. Let us all experience the great truths expressed in this book. Pray to this great master Patanjali with a deep respect, love and reverence. Let us understand the great truths. Let us internalize all the great truths expressed by this great master. Relax. You can open your eyes. Let's enter into the sutras by remembering the great master Patanjali. The first sutra, beautiful sutra, Ata Yoganusasanam. Exact translation of the sutra is, here begins the instruction on yoga. I can say now, let us enter into the yoga. Patanjali is a great master. He doesn't use unnecessary words. You can't edit him. He uses very minimum restricted words. What does he mean by saying, now let's enter into the yoga? Please understand, to enter into the zone of yoga, to enter into the teachings of yoga, you need to be in this moment now. Usually, if your body is here, know for sure you are not here. That's the state of the mind we are living. Morning, the moment you get out of your bed and put the brush in the mouth, you are already in the office, thinking about office. If you are sitting in the office and working, you are already in the beach, evening. If you are sitting in the beach and enjoying the breeze, already you are in the house, back. If you are back home, sitting in the house, already you are thinking about next day morning office. If your body is here, you are not here. Patanjali says, no, come down, be here. I know the science. The child has experienced what Patanjali says as Ata Yoganusasanam. Means, now let us enter into the yoga. The child has understood. The child is in a zone of now. Please understand, he is in this zone now. When you are in that zone now, the connection between you and the master happens straight away. It is direct. It is straight. Because the child has experienced that now. Here, the now, Ata, Yoga Anusasanam, this is a beautiful word. Patanjali says, come to this moment, let us enter into yoga space. Let us enter into the experience of yoga. You may ask, why the child was able to get? Why not the mother? Because mother is not in this moment. Child knows very clearly, child is in this moment, he doesn't know people can tell lies. He doesn't know master can tell a lie. He doesn't know, he doesn't doubt master may tell a lie. He doesn't have any of that kind of doubts. He knows very clearly he is an enlightened master. If he says, it will become reality. That's all. He is not believing for some reason. We also sometimes believe, if I believe only then it will get healed, let me believe. If it doesn't happen, I think I shouldn't have believed. Even our belief is a business. Even our belief is a business. Patanjali says, come to now. See, he is not saying believe, no. Be straight. If you can believe, See, if it is a straight thing, it can't even be called as belief. It can be called as belief only one corner of your mind if you have a doubt. If there is no doubt, it can't even be called as belief. It's a straight truth, straight experience. People asked me, Swamiji, are you not surprised? I said, no, I know the science. It is not miracle, it's a science. Swamiji, then why did you not give it to the mother? Because she can't connect. Please understand, for miracle to happen, you need a proper connection. You need a beautiful space to be created. You need a strong feeling connection between the two persons. Only then miracle can happen. If there is a strong feeling connection between two persons, in both consciousness, in both souls, different space will be awakened. For example, when you fall in love with somebody, suddenly a different dimension of you which was unknown to you will be awakened. You will start sacrificing more. You will start becoming more joyful. You will start becoming more sensitive. Many unknown dimensions of your own being will be awakened by the other person. The same way, in other person also you will awaken many dimensions. Beloved is a person who awakens unknown dimensions inside you. When the feeling connection happens, if it happens between two ordinary human beings, the unknown dimensions are awakened. It's called love affair. Please understand, beloved is a person who awakens the dimensions which are inside you but unknown to you. Same way, master is a person who awakens the unknown dimension of enlightenment in you which was unknown to you. In that small boy, the feeling connection has straightaway happened. He is in the being level. He is neither struggling with intellect nor struggling with emotion. He is straight. His intellect and emotion are parallel lines. Straight. He is connected. The being level connection has happened. So miracles are automatically happening. It is not even done by me. Anything done is a work, not miracle. Anything happens is miracle. It was not done by me. It just happened. Because he is also in the space of now and I am also in the space of now. Understand? When you come to the space of now the yoga can happen inside you. I am already in the space of now. If you can come down, come to now, this moment, the yoga can happen in you. Patanjali says, here now begins yoga. You need to come to this moment. Man lives in dreams. Nietzsche says beautifully, man cannot live with truth. He needs dreams, fantasies, hope to live his life. He cannot bear the present moment as it is. It is too much. He needs hopes, he needs illusions, he needs stories, he needs fantasies. He can't be with reality. But kids are not in that zone. They can experience now. They can have that connection if they are not still spoiled. If they are not still spoiled. If you can come to this moment now, suddenly you see, you will experience the yoga. You will experience the yoga. With the child, that's what has happened. The child was told, ask Swamiji, you will get it. he doesn't have second question, second thought. It is not that he gets the doubt and suppresses it. No. Then the whole scene is over. The moment you get the doubt and suppress, the whole thing is over. He knows it will happen, and straight away he connects it, it happens. Still now, every day he continues to get. All he knows, he goes and stands in front of the photograph and asks, Swamiji, I want this. It is there. Please understand. Ata yoganusasanam. Now starts the yoga. You may think, how is this possible? One side, you are not able to believe. The other side, I am authentically saying what to do. I know what is happening in your mind. Many people are thinking, some story, it's okay, leave it. Some people are thinking, no, he can't tell a lie. I know him. I can't accept, but it can't be lie. How can this be? There are some people saying, hey, forget about it. This all happens sometime. Why should we bother too much about it? It's okay, leave it. Some people are thinking, even if he gets what is there, after all chocolate, it's okay. Please understand, I am using that story to make you understand this truth. How that guy is able to get it? Because he is straight in the now. Now Patanjali also says, come down from your illusions, come down from your hopes, come down from your fantasies, come down from your dreams, straight come to this moment. Yoga will start happening in you. Yoga is not just moving your body. Yoga is not just concentrating your mind. Yoga is the ultimate happening. Please understand. First, you need to understand what is not yoga, especially in the West. In the West, yoga is reduced just to some physical and mental exercises. Yoga has therapeutic efforts, but that does not mean yoga is just a therapy. Please understand, do not reduce yoga just as a therapy. Yoga has therapeutic effects. I am not saying no, but don't reduce yoga just as a therapy. It has more to it. It has depth. It is more sacred. It is not just physical movements. It is not just mental concentration. It has a spiritual depth, uniting conscious experience. We are living, continuously we are living in illusions, dreams, hopes. We can't live without it. That is why, even when we don't have anything to do, we are constantly chewing our dreams. We are constantly chewing our illusions. We are constantly chewing our fantasies. That is what I call Maya. Maya means Yama iti Maya, which is not there, but continuously we feel as if it is there and live with it. That is what is Maya. See your life. Hopes, fantasies, illusions, dreams. It is not there, but constantly you are creating and living with them. Which is not there, but which you are constantly creating and living is what we call Maya. Patanjali says, Ata yoganusasanam. Now begins yoga, means he is telling all of us, come down. Relax from your hopes. He is not saying be hopeless. Please understand. He is not saying be depressed. No, depression is negative hope. Positive hope is desire. Negative hope is fear. He is not saying be depressed. He is not saying be disturbed. No. All he is saying, come down to this moment. Come to this moment. Come down from illusions. Come down from fantasies. Come down from fears. Come to this moment. Yoga starts. Understand? I don't want to add more words. If I add more words, you may forget Patanjali's words. So I just want to repeat. I don't want to comment. I want to repeat. I am not commenting, I am repeating. Please understand, this one sutra, take this one message. The essence is this one message. Whenever you are in this moment, yoga is happening in you. You don't have to bend your body, stand upside down, topsy-turvy, no. Whenever you are in this moment, yoga is happening in you. If you want to be a yogi, be in this moment. Ata yoganusasanam. Remember this one sutra. Remember this one truth. You don't need second truth actually. You don't need to go to next sutra. Some of you may be feeling, oh, today Swami just only introduced this book. There are so many hundreds of sutras. I am listening only one. What will happen to me? I am not able to listen to all the other sutras. Tomorrow he will leave. Don't bother. This one is enough. This one is enough to make you a yogi. If you want to understand the whole Patanjali, the essence of Patanjali, he puts in the first sutra. Ata yoganusasanam. Here now starts yoga. Come to this moment, yoga starts, you are a yogi. Whenever you are in this moment, you are a yogi. You are a yogi. Let you be in this moment, you will become a yogi. You are a yogi. Even you will become a yogi, will become one more fantasy. That word, you will become a yogi, can become one more fantasy. No. You are a yogi. Come to this moment, you are a yogi. With this introduction to this great master Patanjali and to this great book Patanjali Yoga Sutra, I conclude the first session. We will see more and more sutras, more and more great truths, more and more experiments, more and more meditation techniques, more and more experiences. So, practice this one sutra, nothing else is required. Whenever you think you should become a yogi, decide, let me be in this moment. You are a yogi. You will see new doors towards higher consciousness will open inside you. People ask me, how can such a small key open such big doors, Swamiji? Only when you apply, you will understand. Only this small size key, this size small key opens 6 feet door. So this, like this small key, be in this moment, you will become yogi. It's a very small key, but it opens higher consciousness, the greatest doors, highest doors of your life, doors towards the consciousness. So let you all experience the higher consciousness, the Jivan Mukta state. Let you all achieve and radiate the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.